Imagine breaking a bone and simply waiting for it to heal without any medical intervention. Over time, the fracture might not mend correctly, leading to persistent pain and limited movement. This analogy highlights a common misconception about emotional recovery: the belief that time alone is enough to heal all wounds. Just as physical injuries require attention and care, emotional wounds often need active support and intentional effort. Relying solely on the passage of time can leave underlying issues unresolved. By challenging this myth, we open the door to more effective approaches for true healing. Imagine treating a deep cut by simply waiting for it to heal, without cleaning the wound or applying a band-aid. Most people would agree that ignoring a physical injury is not only ineffective, but could also lead to complications. In the same way, emotional wounds require more than just the passage of time to truly heal. Relying solely on time, without addressing the pain or seeking support, can leave emotional scars unresolved. The Band-Aid analogy highlights the importance of taking active steps toward recovery, whether through self-care, therapy, or reaching out to others. Just as we tend to physical injuries with care, our emotional well-being deserves thoughtful attention and nurturing. The phrase, "time heals all wounds," remains a popular saying, often used to comfort others during difficult moments. Its appeal lies in its simplicity, offering an easy way to acknowledge pain without delving into complex emotions or solutions. For many, it serves as a conversational escape, allowing people to sidestep uncomfortable discussions about grief or hardship. Additionally, this platitude can act as a subtle permission slip for passivity, suggesting that healing is inevitable and requires no active effort. While it may provide temporary solace, relying on this phrase can sometimes discourage meaningful support or personal growth. Its persistence reflects a broader tendency to favor reassuring cliches over deeper engagement with emotional challenges. The comforting fantasy offered by this advice can be alluring, promising immediate relief from discomfort or uncertainty. However, by encouraging us to avoid confronting difficult emotions or situations, it often creates a false sense of security. Over time, this avoidance can prevent genuine growth and self-understanding. Instead of developing resilience, we may find ourselves stuck in familiar patterns, unable to move forward emotionally. This stagnation can make it harder to adapt to new challenges, leaving us ill-prepared for the complexities of real life. Ultimately, while the advice may feel reassuring in the short term, it risks undermining our long-term emotional well-being. Imagine your mind as an attic, a space where memories and emotions are quietly tucked away. When we experience pain but choose not to process it, that pain doesn't simply vanish, it's stored, much like old boxes gathering dust in a forgotten corner. Over time, these unresolved feelings accumulate, stacking higher and higher. Just as an overloaded attic can strain the structure of a house, this emotional buildup can destabilize our sense of well-being. The weight of unaddressed hurt may eventually seep into daily life, affecting our mood, relationships, and resilience. Recognizing this hidden accumulation is the first step toward restoring balance and emotional health. Unresolved trauma often lingers beneath the surface, shaping our thoughts and actions in ways we may not immediately recognize. This emotional clutter can quietly influence how we respond to stress, interact with others, and perceive ourselves. Over time, these hidden burdens may lead to patterns of avoidance, defensiveness, or difficulty trusting those around us. Relationships can be affected as we unconsciously project past hurts onto present situations. Even everyday decisions may be colored by the echoes of experiences we haven't fully processed. Recognizing the presence of unseen emotional clutter is the first step toward understanding its impact and beginning the journey to healing. Permafrost, in the emotional sense, describes a state where pain becomes frozen in time. Instead of healing, the hurt is simply numbed, creating the illusion that it has disappeared. This numbness can be mistaken for recovery, but in reality, the underlying wound remains untouched. When new stress or challenges arise, these old pains can thaw and resurface, often catching us off guard. The process reveals that unresolved emotions are not truly gone, they are merely dormant, waiting for the right conditions to re-emerge. Understanding this phenomenon helps explain why past traumas can feel suddenly fresh, even after years of apparent calm. Many people believe that simply feeling less pain over time means they have healed from an emotional wound. However, this sense of feeling better is often the result of emotional numbness rather than genuine recovery. When we suppress our feelings, we may become detached or indifferent, mistaking this lack of emotion for progress. True healing involves processing and understanding our emotions, not just pushing them aside. Without addressing the root causes, unresolved feelings can resurface later, sometimes in unexpected ways. Recognizing the difference between numbness and real healing is crucial for long-term emotional well-being. Unresolved pain often lingers beneath the surface, quietly shaping our thoughts and actions. When left unaddressed, this pain can resurface in unexpected ways, disrupting new experiences and relationships. The sabotage cycle begins when old wounds trigger defensive behaviors, causing us to push others away or react disproportionately to minor setbacks. These patterns can undermine trust and connection, making it difficult to build healthy bonds. Over time, the cycle repeats, reinforcing feelings of isolation and disappointment. Recognizing this dynamic is the first step toward breaking free and fostering genuine growth. Healing is often misunderstood as a passive journey, something that simply happens with the passage of time. In reality, true recovery requires active participation and conscious effort. It involves making deliberate choices, seeking support, and engaging in practices that foster growth and resilience. By reframing healing as an ongoing process, we recognize the importance of personal agency and commitment. This perspective empowers individuals to take meaningful steps toward their well-being, rather than waiting for change to occur on its own. Ultimately, recovery is shaped by our actions, intentions, and willingness to move forward. The first step in healing is cleaning, which begins with confrontation. This means facing our pain head-on, rather than avoiding or suppressing it. Through self-reflection, we start to understand the roots of our discomfort and acknowledge the emotions we may have been ignoring. Therapy can provide a safe space to explore these feelings further, offering guidance and support. Honest questioning of our thoughts and behaviors helps us uncover patterns that contribute to our suffering. By bravely confronting our pain, we lay the foundation for genuine healing and personal growth. Finding meaning in suffering is often described as the thread that stitches together the fabric of our lives. When we search for purpose or understanding in the midst of pain, we begin to integrate these difficult experiences into our personal narrative. This process can transform suffering from something that feels isolating into a source of growth and resilience. By reflecting on what we have endured, we may discover new strengths, values, or perspectives that shape who we become. Meaning doesn't erase the pain, but it can give it context, helping us move forward with greater clarity and hope. Just as a bandage shields a physical wound from further harm, setting boundaries is essential for safeguarding emotional injuries during recovery. Boundaries help define what is acceptable in our interactions, allowing us to create a safe space for healing. By establishing clear limits, we prevent old patterns from resurfacing and protect ourselves from situations that might reopen emotional wounds. Developing new habits, such as practicing self-care and communicating needs assertively, reinforces these boundaries. Over time, these protective measures foster resilience and support the gradual restoration of emotional well-being. Time alone does not guarantee healing. While the passage of days and weeks may provide distance from pain, true recovery depends on the choices we make along the way. Intentional actions, such as seeking support, practicing self-care, and reflecting on our experiences, are essential for meaningful progress. Healing is an active process, shaped by our willingness to engage with our emotions and nurture our well-being. Ultimately, it is through deliberate effort that we move forward and find renewed strength. In conclusion, emotional healing is not simply a matter of waiting for time to pass. True recovery begins when individuals take an active role in addressing their feelings and experiences. By seeking support, practicing self-care, and embracing personal growth, viewers can empower themselves to move forward. Rather than relying solely on the passage of time, engaging in intentional actions can foster resilience and well-being. Remember, the journey to emotional recovery is unique for everyone, but taking the first step is essential. Through commitment and self-compassion, lasting change becomes possible.